Nerd Adventures! I'm on my way. Woo! I'll tell you, man, it's gonna be a good show. On my way to the tower. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the Thursday stream here at Nerd Vengers Tower. I think it's gonna be a really good one. Look, Book of Boba Fett, episode 6. It changed things. Things have been changed. And now we need to talk about them. Because the possibilities are almost endless. And the discussion then from something like that becomes, what should we do? What are the limits? What are the ethical concerns? What should we be thinking about? And so I want to talk about that with you guys today. We'll also, of course, just generally gush about the episode because it is so damn good. And so I'm excited to get into this with you guys. I'm pulling into the tower right now. I'll see you in a second. Oh, snap, Chet. Got the hype. You got the hype train going, man. Type City over there. You're feeling yourself a little bit this, I think. Yo. Yeah. Let's get into this, man. Let's get into this. I got notes today. We got a lot to get into. Book of Boba Fett. Episode 6, man. Holy crap. I think a lot of Star Wars fans feeling the same kind of way. Feeling the same kind of way about this episode. Just an incredible experience. By the way, I just clicked the thing so that we can do all the chats in the member chats later. So, should be good on that. Trevor says, hey Josh, last Friday you missed me becoming a Nerd Venger at the prime level on stream. Could you knight me? So that I become taller. Yes, indeed, my friend. Trevor, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. I'm sure you were like, whoa. My vantage point just changed. I got to readjust all my devices because now I'm tall as fuck. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. Feel the power flowing through you. Make your way around the tower. I also want to say I want to have a Diamond Tier Lounge stream soon. I'm not sure what night. Maybe Friday night, maybe Saturday night. But we got to get back into the Diamond Lounge. If you have a Diamond badge, you've been a member for more than 6 months, you should try to stop by for that one. And maybe just let me know, in chat or on Discord, like, what do you guys think would be better, Friday night or Saturday night? But we gotta have a conversation over a few drinks, maybe a few smokes. You know what I mean? And hang out. What happens in the lounge stays in the lounge kind of thing. So we'll be doing that as well. Man, I am in... this is a really, really cool place to be at for, a content creator. And I've not been this enthusiastic, let's say, about making Star Wars content in some time. There's just so much within the episode itself as far as lore, as far as setup for the future of the Filoni-Verse, crazy stuff that's going on. Out there, I'm working on a video about Grogu's choice and the big choice that Grogu has to make and why that choice is so important. Not just for Grogu, but for Luke. The dangest thing about this, folks, the dangest thing about this is that we don't just get Luke in Episode 6. We actually get some character development. And I've seen many people comment on this on different places in social media. Yes, this is foreshadowing where Luke arrives at mentally within The Last Jedi. And I have a whole... I got a lot to say about that. We're going to save that for a video in particular. For today's stream, what I thought would be really fun and interactive so that we can, talk about it together, man. I want to know what you guys think, you know what I mean, about this, is that this technology, I think, has changed things. I think permanently. And I think that there's a lot of different examples of similar type stuff that was going on in the past. Like I was reminded of Tron back in the day and what they did with the Big Lebowski dude. Why am I blanking on the homie's name? I forget the homie's name. Apologies. And even Star Wars with Tarkin and things of that nature, right? They have been playing around with this idea for some time. But I think this particular episode, Jeff Bridges, thank you, chat. I think this particular episode has leveled the game up, and I think probably has a lot of producers, movers and shakers, and also just people interested in making cinema moving forward, thinking about these things a little bit differently. You know, this really and truly shows that the magic that is movie making has now found like another trick in the bag, right? And so the first thing I want to do when we get into this discussion, let's get a poll going on. Let's go to Poll City, USA. It's Poll Town. Poll Town, USA! And I got to end this one right here. And look, I'm not trying to be that guy. You know, we keep it nice and chill over here and all that, but I demand more likes. I demand more likes. So do me a favor and just smash the like button. So the first question today, guys, how do you feel about deepfake Luke? Also, is deepfake one word or not? How do you feel about deepfake Luke? And I'm going to give you 4 options here. First option is love it. Second option is like it. Third option is meh. And then the last option is hated it. So I want to get a good range of how the chat feels about this. So there we go. We'll start with that. Because I've spent a good bit of time looking at how people are responding to this online, how people are reacting. You know, we did another watch party last night with just the Nerd Vengers. And so, yeah, Yova, my man, good to see you. Good to see you. Always love seeing you in the Champions Club as well, Yova. Yeah, so we did the Nerd Vengers only stream last night. I thought it was a fantastic time, and we watched the episode again, brought up a lot of interesting points. You guys had a lot of interesting insight as well, and I always love doing those streams. So if you're a member, make sure you try to come by Wednesday nights for those. But yeah, just in general, like watching other people's breakdowns, seeing what people are saying on social media. The vast majority of folks that I have seen really, really like what they did with the deepfake Luke. I am absolutely certain, just because these things are subjective and people probably feel different, I'm sure that a lot of people feel differently about that. That there are some folks out there that are like, I didn't like it. I actually thought it took me out of it or whatever. Look, it's subjective. It is what it is. But I think that it's accurate to say that the vast majority of folks out there online are very positive on this technology and on what happened with Luke. I really think that a lot of people, especially after the Mandalorian Season 2, didn't expect a lot of Luke, okay? And here's the deal, man. Like, look, I'm a gloat a little bit for sure. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot fucking toot, man. Okay, I called it. Y'all were wrong on Tuesday. Let's get over it. We don't have to linger on it, okay? But I think some of the reason maybe so many folks didn't want to believe that there's more Luke, that you could get more Luke, that more Luke was on the way, was because they didn't think that you could actually do that you couldn't actually functionally get Luke to work as a character, and therefore you'd have to reserve him for just certain things. And look, I know the camera's a little off again. I really don't know what's going on here. Like, if you'll notice, like, I will switch the frames per second, and I'm going to try to fix this. I'm hoping today to be able to dig in there. But you'll notice I will change the frames per second. It's synced right now. In like a couple of minutes, it will desync, and I'm going to have to go back in and switch it again. But to just kind of stay on this point for a second, I think that was part of the deal. I think that's part of the reason why people didn't believe it, why people were like, I don't know about that. we talked. It's probably just your face, probably Bubba. But you know what? We play the hands we're dealt, my friend. You know what I mean? Clip it. So I can understand folks feeling that way, thinking like, oh man, like, nah, Luke's off the table. Like, what do you mean? Like more crazy stuff like that? Like, I don't know if I even loved Mando season 2 ending. That was just enough Luke for me to get hyped up. It tickled my fancy, so to speak, but any more of it, and I feel like I would have been taken out of it. You know, those kind of situations, those kind of feelings, I understand. And even myself, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, so I hear more Luke. I think more Luke. I want more Luke. And when they hired Shamook, you know what I mean? And by the way, guys, I think this is actually a really important point to nail down. And again, I just want to say we will go into super chats in the back half of the stream as we always do. I see them coming in and I appreciate it, but let's just, you know, let's get through this rant here. And it's a Thursday, so we might have a long stream today. I don't know what to say. We might have a long stream today because I don't have a 1 p.m. stream. I got videos and stuff to do, but like I'm chilling, baby. You know what I mean? Like I'm chilling. So when they hired Shamook, I was like, oh, damn, this is really crazy. And it's important to remember, they didn't hire him to do deepfakes. They hired him to be the actual lead of a new division of Lucasfilm and ILM, where they are going to take, digital performance to the next level. And it's like crazy. And I oh man, I can't wait for the gallery episode. I can't wait because I think you're going to see, you know what I mean? I think you're going to see how they took multiple different avenues. You know, they tried different things. You know, I bet Mark was involved again. I bet they had the double involved, and I bet there were, you know, just a lot of different decisions, and they said, okay, well, this, you know, let's see how this can look. Oh, that looks great, but I don't know if it's going to work, because it's really incredible what they pulled off, you know? Like, actual character stuff with Luke, like the way his face, like this scene is so perfect, man, between him and Grogu at the very beginning when they're lifting the frogs, and Luke's expressions, they feel so Luke, man. They feel so damn Luke Skywalker. Like, that scene is powerful. Jabbo, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. Welcome. You are a Nerd Venger. Now, make your way around the tower. Get comfy. Have a soda. You know, grab yourself a soda and chill. It's wild, man. Like, it's absolutely wild. So it says here, let's look at the results of the poll. So 76% of you guys loved it. 21% of you liked it. 0% hated it. 3% of you said it was meh. Bro, that's incredible. Think about what that means. That's nuts. That's a really cool data point. If I was Lucasfilm, I would be at ILM, I would be so excited about what they just pulled off, okay? Now, how many of you guys, and you know what? I want to do a thing. Nikki, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. You know, make your way around the tower, get comfy, you know, say what's up to Susan in the lobby. You know, this is your home now. I will give 5,000 Nerd Coin to the first person in chat that answers this question correctly. And it's not even a hard question, but there's a point here. What does ILM stand for? You tell me. What does ILM stand for? I'm going to keep an eye on it. The first person that says it in chat, 5,000 Nerd Coin. Oh, there we go. Action DK22. Hang on, I need to screenshot this. Action DK22. Got it. Okay, I'm going to screenshot that. I'll add 5,000 Nerd Coin to your account. Thank you. So the deal with this, man, is like, I've just been thinking about this a lot because Industrial Light and Magic, right? That's the name of the company. And movie making is magic, bro. Like, it is. It's a flat image. Sometimes 3D when you're getting all, crazy with James Cameron and the blue people. But mostly, it's a two-dimensional screen that creates an experience within the user. I don't really like horror films because I get an actual tension, an actual anxiety in my body. And it's not actually my favorite vibration, so I don't love to be there. But I've always respected horror, and I've respected film because it can get you there. A two-dimensional image using lighting, characters, framing, all of these different concepts can make us feel certain things. It is such an interesting medium. I love it. By the way, I went to film school. That's how much I love movies. I went to film school. You know what I'm saying? And the chat will agree, Yes, it's why I'm so good at what I do. Now, the magic of movie making is to take you into a world and to experience characters and all this sort of stuff without doubt. You need to sort of reserve somebody's disbelief. Suspend the disbelief. Create an experience within that frame that takes you to a place with different characters and things of that nature. James R., welcome back to the Nerd Vengers. You're a Nerd Venture once again. Feel the power. Feel the power. Man, this was movie making magic, and it was a combination of things. It's powerful, the deepfake stuff, and that's mostly what we're going to talk about today. But it is worth mentioning the soundstage. It is worth mentioning that in one frame of this show, you have 3 different incredible magic-like things going on to create an incredible experience. And what I'm talking about is the scene with Ahsoka, Luke, and the crazy background. You have a practical effect character in Ahsoka. This is makeup, prosthetics, maybe a little bit of CG stuff, but it's incredible. It's magic. It's magic. Ahsoka is standing there. You have Luke Skywalker, as he was at the end of Return of the Jedi. You have him in the frame. It is a digitally recreated character with deep fakes, using an actor, but using a lot of technology, pulling from past footage to create that experience. They're standing in a big old circle with a big screen that's wrapped around them, real-time rendering a digital environment that can be captured by a camera. It's crazy. Like, you've got to just look at that and be kind of blown away. And to me, one of the other reasons why this is so damn cool is that it's so George Lucas, baby. Jack Bleu, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now, man. Make your way around the tower. Get your key card. You got your Nerd Venger badge. Make sure it's all official, load it up into the system, all those sort of things. Find the bathrooms. It's a big tower. Don't get lost. This is so George Lucas, bro. Like, this was George. George was constantly pushing the limits of what you put into that two-dimensional thing called the frame. The very first shot in Star Wars used models and interesting camera angles to trick the eye, magic, into thinking there's this massive ship in space. It had been like, it was something you had never quite seen before. Up until that moment, sci-fi, you had, 2001 was probably the most successful sci-fi film up to that point. It was a niche genre, and you had never seen something like that in sci-fi before, something of that scope. Holy shit, look at the size of the Star Destroyer. It just keeps going and going and going, and it looks meticulously put together. It looks like there's these actual piping and rivets, and it looks real. I'm taken to a place. It's magic. And then later on in the prequels, of course, George pushing the limits of technology, pushing what it could do to put things into the frame. And the Phantom Menace specifically has it has this beautiful blend of practical effects and digital effects. It's a really interesting combination where the digital is starting to take over, but you're still using practical effects. This was George's thing. He was not just pushing it with the story. He was pushing technology forward to put magic into that two-dimensional space known as the frame. And again, we have now reached a place where things are changing, where that magic, it makes a lot of things possible that weren't possible before, right? I also want to take just a moment, and I want to remark, and I want to just be grateful, and in the sense of Zen, it's just so perfect that we have arrived here. The pair of John and Dave, obviously awesome. We all really love and respect and just have a lot of admiration for these two dudes and what they're doing currently for Star Wars. But as far as the tech is concerned, I again think it's worth remarking and just taking a moment to look at how perfect these two gentlemen are when it comes to this technology. I mean, Jon Favreau, cinematic legend. Legend. He's done so much for cinema, made so many awesome movies, you know, Elf, Iron Man, Swingers, like just so many legendary. If you look at his trajectory as far as technology is concerned, he's always been somebody wanting to advance the tech as well. The ideas from Lion King and his work on Lion King informed his decision to first make the first version of stagecraft, which then ILM sort of took to the next level with proprietary technology. He's a real innovator. And then there's Dave, who, of course, studied at the feet of the master. That's the sort of calling card. That's why we all praise him so much. But it's also interesting to consider and think about that Dave worked in animation for years. And in animation, you are essentially creating backgrounds, creating characters, recreating things digitally to, again, fill that two-dimensional space known as the frame to create magic, to take us to a place, to have us understand and be compelled by characters. It's crazy that some of the skills he had in rendering, in shooting within a movable digital environment, I think they have to translate so well into stagecraft. And also the deepfake stuff. And so basically, man, it's just amazing that we happen to live in a time where these two dudes had the trajectories that they had within their careers. They crushed it on their own, you know, by their own right, like incredible, you know, well-established careers, made great art, commercial art for sure, but made great art. And it just so happened that they brought together with this project, with this technology, with these ideas, and they're playing with the toys, and it's incredible what they've been able to do. So I just kind of wanted to take a moment and just reflect about that. Reflect on that, you know, just be grateful for that. It's crazy. This is a beautiful moment. Like, this is a moment, and I know it's nerdy shit, okay? I get it. You know, I'm up here getting sweaty about, you know, for all intents and purposes, children characters and all that shit. But it is what it is, guys. This shit is meaningful to me. You know what I mean? Like, this shit means a lot to me. And I'm grateful that we live in a world where this shit is happening. And I would just urge you to just take a moment and just live in the moment, man. You know, be here in the moment. This shit is dope, bro. Like, this wasn't just an episode. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm trying to say is, like, this was not just an episode, okay? Now, this deep fake stuff, again, as we talked about, it's been around, right? And I got VV pulled up. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to try. We'll see what we can do. I want to talk about the deepfake technology. Now, again, we've seen it before, but this is fucking crazy. Like, the ability to do what they did is crazy. It's disruptive, okay? And all technology that's really innovative is disruptive to industry, okay? And this is very disruptive. And I guess that's kind of where we want to take it from here, is discuss with you guys what are the limits? What could we see happening? What should go on? Okay? Knowledge Cosmic, welcome to the Nerd Ventures. You are a Nerd Venture now. So I want to talk about the MCU. And yes, we're definitely going to talk about T'Challa. We're certainly going to talk about T'Challa because that's such an interesting one. And I think there'll be a lot of discussion about it, a lot of different feelings. And by the way, nobody's wrong. Nobody's wrong. You feel a certain way. Oh, shit, you're wrong. No, this is new technology. A lot of these discussions. Like, here's what I think it is. You might feel a certain way about it today, and you might consider some things that we talk about and feel differently about it by the end of the stream. You might feel differently about it tomorrow. I don't think there's wrong or right here. I think it's a discussion. We need to dig in. Before we get into T'Challa specifically, I want to talk about the MCU's completely sort of almost opposite stance on this kind of stuff. It looks like I'm going to try to get it in about 10 seconds here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, I might have got one, dude. Nope. Okay. Well, hope you guys got some VV drops while people were still able to get them, because that shit's over. That's why they're all going to be worth so much money, because you can't get them. VV, only for the rich now. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about the very different stance that Marvel has on these sort of things, and it does sort of crystallize itself in the example of Chadwick Boseman. It does. It really does. It's interesting. But before we get to that, let's just talk about the Avengers in general, okay? Let's talk about the Avengers in general. One of the things right now that must be on Kevin Feige's mind is the fact that as they go further, it is going to be harder and harder to have the same actors playing these characters as we go on. It's kind of a miracle they were able to keep majoritarily, not all the time, but majoritarily the same cast together for like the majority of that 10 years of movies, right? Let me just throw something out there. This is kind of what I'm thinking. How different do you think it is, guys, that we got Tony Stark voiced by somebody other than Robert Downey Jr. in the What If series, and it's Tony Stark. It's RDJ's Tony Stark from the MCU. How much different is that than what they did with Luke if they were to do that with Robert Downey Jr.? Do you know what I mean? And I think with the MCU, one of the issues with it is the fact that with this continuity, the more and more important this continuity becomes, the harder it is to assure that you have the same characters together. Do you know what I mean? And so, like, obviously it's a case-by-case basis here. But I wonder if we had the ability to have that group of Avengers always available to us. I'm not saying that they have to be the Avengers forever. You could still take them other places and have other Avengers come in, but you always have the ability and the option to open up a portal and have RDJ's Iron Man walk out of that portal. Do you know what I mean? And look, I see a bunch of different things in here. I see a lot of people feeling about it in different ways, and I understand it. What if, I'm just going to throw some ideas out there because I think that this is where I want to get the discussion going, because yes, people are like, oh, that'd be disrespectful. Oh, that's different. Here's what I'm saying and what I'm trying to suggest to you is we don't know. We've got to figure it out. Okay. So let's talk about this. What if RDJ currently has a plan to be in Secret Wars? And it's going to be an incredible experience, something really, really fun when he pops up in Secret Wars, a callback to the epicness of RDJ's Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man in the MCU. But what if, tragically, something happens and he's not there anymore? He's not around. In that kind of a situation, do you want Marvel to scrap the idea of that? Would you want Marvel to recast the character and then just have it implied that it's the same Tony Stark? Do you know what I mean? What is the best option? They've de-aged him before. They have. They absolutely have. Do you see what I mean? And then let's talk about T'Challa, okay? So let me just throw a couple options at you. Let's go to Poll Sound. Can you pay a dead guy? Yes, you can. That's actually a really important part of it. Yes, you can. You can pay his estate. Only for dead people. But Mark Hamill's not dead. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is what I mean. It's like, you're going to have some ideas about this. You're going to have some concepts. You're going to have a way of thinking about this. What I'm here to do is challenge the way you think about it. I don't think it's as clear-cut as you think. I think ethics should be considered. Absolutely. I think limitations should be considered. I think actors should get paid. And paid. If their likeness is going to be used in perpetuity for something like this, they should have that available to them financially. Right? What I am here to suggest is that I don't think our current understanding of this is the way that it should be, right? If you look at Leia, the experience that they had with Leia, and let me just get this poll going on here right now. Would you like T'Challa coming back using the deepfake? And I just want to throw this out there and see what you guys think. Sebastian, welcome to the Nerd Vengers, man. You are a Nerd Venger now. Appreciate you. Make your way around the tower, man. Get comfy. You know, it's your home now. And I want to know what you guys think about that. For sure. For sure. Here's what I think about Chad. I think the current idea of like having his death in the movie as well as in real life, I think that a lot of people that want T'Challa to be recast, there's two main reasons. There's really two main reasons. And of course, you can reference the great work of E-Man's movie reviews. You know, he's made a lot of content about this. He and I sat down for a podcast. I thought it was excellent. We talked about the whole idea here. But it's really two main ideas as far as I understand it. Number one, the character is super iconic. The character is really important. It's important. It's an important character. And this character needs to exist. You know, that's what the recasting is about. The recasting is saying, essentially, the character is bigger than Chad. And Chad believed that. He believed that. And he picked roles specifically that he thought were bigger than himself. Okay? So the main idea is the character's too important. The other idea is that there's just too much of that story that needs to be told still. That it would be weird to, just because a real life thing happened, change the comic book stories to reflect the real life. And that seems like, I think a lot of people feel that that's a little in poor taste. Because it's almost like you're using tragedy to help to benefit the story or the film. If, like, Chad's death and who's going to replace him is used in the marketing, you could make the argument that they are sort of profiting off of a tragedy and the death of that actor. Okay? And I think at face value here, right? Here's the deal. What they did with Leia was meant to be respectful. It was meant to be respectful. They gave her top billing in the movie. They recreated a performance based on old footage, which is very close to the deepfake technology. It's like, it's very, very similar. It's very close. I thought it was horrible. Type O negative. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers, my guy. I felt like the Leia shit was horrible. it felt inorganic, not just because of the way she was portrayed, but because they wrote scenes around it. It didn't feel good. It was like, oh man, this is so weird. Like, it just felt clunky. And most of all, if it's for the character, right? Because they just didn't think there was a way to do 9 without Leia. I fucking agree, because that's the story. That's the characters. But the idea that you want to have her in there, but not have her ability to function as a character and write shit around it to try to make it make sense, like, that just feels, it didn't work. It didn't land for me. I think it didn't land for a lot of people. And I think had this technology been at the place where it is currently at, that would have been a better route. Lucasfilm came out very early and said that wasn't going to happen. And they said that it was out of respect. And maybe that's the intention. The intention is to be respectful. The result, I felt, was disrespectful. It's disrespectfully bad, right? Similar thing going on with Marvel and T'Challa. Marvel comes out very early on and makes kind of like flag in the ground, line in the sand kind of statements, and it's about respect. It's about honoring Chad's legacy. Do you know what I mean? But again, I think that, the veil's kind of lifting there, and folks are suggesting, very vocal folks with recast T'Challa, that's even though the intention may be good, that's not how you do it, and that's not going to end up actually respecting the actor. Okay, so let me just give you a couple of different examples here. You might say, because it's kind of split right now, it's like 60% of you say yes, 40% of you say no. Some of you guys think it would be disrespectful. But let me ask you this. What if the family was down? What if they went to Chad's family and they said, you know what I think we can do is we can, using another actor, we can pull from old footage of Chad and use this deepfake Luke Skywalker tech to recreate a performance. It's Chad's performance, right? That's the thing that's fascinating about the deepfake. Even the voice is and maybe I'm wrong, but when they were explaining it for Mando season 2, they said that voice was totally created. They created that voice based off of hours and hours of footage of Mark Hamill. The AI that creates this deepfake is based off of Mark Hamill's performance. It's his performance being recreated. And so in some way, the actor is still touching that performance from beyond the grave, which I know seems weird, but it's true. It's true, ladies and gentlemen. And also my camera is killing me. Okay. So what if the family was down? Would that change how you feel about it? You know what I mean? Like, if the family said, we think this is the best way to honor Chadwick's performance, and he's going to get top billing, that's going to go to the estate, we think this is what Chad would want. Would that change the way that you feel? If his estate got paid, not just for this movie, but if they have him in Avengers movies and et cetera, on down the line, what if the estate of Chadwick Boseman and his immediate family was paid in perpetuity as long as they kept using his likeness? Would that make you feel differently about it? Okay? And to be honest with you, I think the real game changer, and I think this is really where, maybe some of you guys are so far, you're like, no, that wouldn't change it. I still personally feel the way I feel. No, that wouldn't change it. I still personally feel the way that I feel. Okay, well, what if on his deathbed or as he's getting sicker or whatever, the option was available to him to sign some kind of contract where his likeness would be used with this technology to create that performance in some kind of perpetuity, and his family and estate would be paid accordingly due to that. And Chad himself, the man, before he passed, signed and said, yes, I want this. Would that change the way you feel about it? Would that change the way you feel about it? I don't know if he would want that. I don't know if he would do that. What I am suggesting to you is, with this new technology, with this disruptive thing that is happening, there are new options available, and I think we're going to have to rethink how we are looking at these situations. That's an incredibly specific scenario. Yeah, I mean, it is. I can't argue with that. It is. But the point is actually not that specific. The point is, if the actor or actress wants it, does that change how we feel about it? And to me, that's not actually a stretch. You know what I mean? Chris Jackson, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now, man. You know, lots of new Nerd Vengers today. You love to see it. Appreciate y'all. That's really the point. What if this becomes available to actors? Do you know what I mean? I'm not telling you how to feel about it. I'm suggesting that maybe how you feel about it is based on a paradigm or a perspective that is not in simpatico with where the fuck we're going. I know that's a lot of syllables. I'm sorry. Look, the point is, we're working with old perspectives and old ways of looking at these things. There's new ways. There's new things that are happening. I don't know where the lines are at, but I would suggest to you that the lines will be in a different place than where they were at before. You know? Last point before we get into Q&A. And we'll get into Q&A. We have a lot to talk about. I'm very interested in what you guys think about this. This is my last point. When it comes to fan service and wish fulfillment, okay? Think about what we just got with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, okay? And understand, ladies and gentlemen, understand, please, that most of that was done digitally or with stunt doubles. Tobey and Andrew and Tom went there and acted, and yeah, man, they acted the shit out of it. It was incredible. Very, very fun, nuanced performances. I don't think anybody would prefer, at least until the tech gets way, way better, I don't think anybody would prefer the deep fake over a real actor. I don't think we're there. I don't think the tech is there. But I mean, what if we had the opportunity to recreate some magic from the past in a similar way to what we did in Spider-Man No Way Home? You want to know the biggest point? The first one that jumped into my head? Christopher Reeve's Superman. What if in the Flash movie or in some other DC property, some kind of thing happens and you get a to perfection deepfake version of Christopher Reeve's Superman? And it's not, here's the thing, of course it has to feel and look and seem just like Christopher Reeve's Superman. Do you know what I'm saying? Give me credit for what? Look, I don't know what you want credit for, Trev, but let me just say this. No. You have no good ideas, and anything that you ever said that I took and claimed for my own, it was really me. Trev had this idea, says Carl. Yeah, okay. Anyway. Guys, can we focus on me? Can we stop talking about Trev? Can we focus on me for once? Sheesh. I think when you start to think about some of these scenarios, you're like, damn, bro. This is kind of wild. And I think this could change things. I mean, imagine if you were an actor or an actress, right? And you had the opportunity to play a role, and let's say you did like a 3-movie contract or whatever, right? But then you also had sort of a thing in your contract where you could say, you know, I also allow my likeness to be recreated and put in to projects, and you could even cut a contract. Like maybe it's like you only want 5 of those. You know what I mean? Like 5 appearances, 3 appearances, or whatever. And you have the ability to sign that contract for extra money. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that is going to happen. I think that essentially that will become a thing because if you, again, to take it back to Marvel and the MCU, that's one of their biggest problems is that because they have such an affinity for the actors that come in and play these roles, it creates limitations. You know what I mean? It creates limitations in what they can actually do. You know? So I just think that the sky is going to start to become the limit and that this will absolutely change things. And I think that audiences need to recalibrate for what could potentially happen in the future. You know what I mean? And ultimately, here's the deal. Just to take it all the way back to the movie magic and to the idea that what this really is for is to create these experiences. A lot of people say recast. You know? A lot of people say that recasting is the best way. That's the better way to do it. Hire actors. Actors. This is why that intellectually doesn't exactly work. When Mark Hamill was first hired to play Luke Skywalker, he was not hired to be Mark Hamill. He was hired to be Luke Skywalker. He became Luke Skywalker. And the closer he got to that creation, and yeah, it's an organic thing that happened over time and was created, you know, by the director, by the actor, by the scripting. But that thing, the character is what it is. When Luke comes back, or when Mark comes back to play that role for the other movies, or even for the sequel trilogy, and I know some of you are going to get super triggered and be like, but that's the problem. He didn't play the character that I knew. What, you know what I mean? That's the idea is, though, he's not there to be Mark Hamill. He's there to be the character. And if it was possible with makeup and prosthetics, and you could get Sebastian Stan to play Luke Skywalker, and you could change it so that Sebastian Stan looked exactly like Luke Skywalker. Not like Mark Hamill, but exactly like Luke Skywalker. And he didn't look like Sebastian Stan anymore. That's actually the goal. That's really what you want. You don't want him to look like Sebastian Stan that's playing Luke Skywalker. You want him to look like Luke Skywalker. I think we've got our chords mixed up a little bit here. It's the character. It's not the actor. And so, like, I think really, truly, if you just think of this in sort of a more logical perspective, the idea of a different actor coming in there, the idea of, you know, I like different actors putting spins on different characters. Like, it's one of the joys of James Bond, of the different Batman movies, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But ultimately, that's kind of a different thing than, like, an actual continuity. And in this sort of age of nostalgia, the continuity is really what it's about. The character, the continuity, the nostalgia. I just think there's more options for the creative team. There's more options, if done correctly, for the actors themselves. Like, imagine Hugh Jackman doesn't have to get jacked for Wolverine anymore. You know what I mean? What if Hugh Jackman can come in, doesn't have to be jacked, can be jacked on the screen, can look like a young Wolverine, and it's flawless? Do you know what I mean? There's options, man. There's gold in those hills. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay, everybody, let's switch it up. Let's get into Q&A. Appreciate y'all listening to me blurb about that. I hope some of the stuff we talked about was interesting to you. And, yeah, if you have something you want to say about it, if you have a take or something of that nature, definitely... Wait, what the butthole? Hang on now. Put that there. And then where's the... Okay, yeah. Nope. Nope, not that. Nope. Nope, not that. Hey, there it is. Okay, cool. So let's get into the Q&A for a little bit here. We'll go over a bunch of super chats. I want to say, this camera, dude, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. Today's stream and all the streams are brought to you by the lovely people you see in chat with a badge next to their name, the Nerd Vengers. They help me keep the lights on at Nerd Vengers Tower. Big part of what we do over here. You get a ton of benefits for becoming a member. You get 20% off our Teespring store, which, by the way, I am going to make a Luke Soka shirt design. I know, Ryan wants to puke. Everybody, people are going to freak out about it. It's kind of a little bit of a troll, just being real. But we're doing it. And you can get 20% off of your merchandise when you're a Nerd Venger. You get access to the behind-the-scenes streams. You get a bunch of benefits, really. But also, results may vary, not financial advice. You become taller. You become more fit. People get their finances in order. It's really, really crazy. Their portfolio turns around. Hashtag not financial advice. A lot of crazy things happen when you become a Nerd Venger, You become larger in areas you want to become larger, thinner in areas you want thinner. It's really, really wild. It's crazy. So the point is, become a Nerd Venger today. Okay. Let's start at the tippy top here. And let's get through these. Trevor says, the $5 holler says, hey, Josh, last Friday, you missed me becoming a Nerd Venger at the Prime level. Could you knight me? I did knight you already, but Trevor, again, welcome. You are a Nerd Venger now. Prince Zodiac, member for 3 months, says, why did Boba look like he was in a production meeting asking for his job back, though? Yeah, and honestly, it looked a little bit weird to me. I wonder if they filmed that stuff first, actually, because Tem still looked a little pudgy. You know what I mean? And I don't really care about dad bod Boba. By the way, this is just a little something for the people that just love to watch the streams. I was having a conversation this morning with my good friend Paul from Heavy Spoilers, and we were just talking about how fat we're both getting. Paul and I are both going to become dads this year, and Paul sent me a picture of the first time we collabed together on a stream, and we did a spoiler stream for charity for the Snyder fans. I don't know if y'all remember that. Anybody was here? He sent me a picture of it, and he's like, what happened to us? Because we look good in that picture. And I was like, yeah, man, it's that dad bod life. And so Heavy Spoilers and myself getting nice and plump as we await the arrival of our children. So, yeah. Dan the Man said, member for 13 months. Oh, yeah, the thing about Boba, man, I don't know. But I'm not sure what to think about the Boba of the Boba. We'll talk about that in the end of hopefully there'll be more. Dan the Man, member for 13 months. My man says, here's to 13 more months. Cheers. If I'm on borrowed time with Star Wars, then so be it. Hopefully Grogu picks his father's saber. If not, we lead to the sequels, then I'm out. But I'll always be a Nerd Venger. Yeah, Dan, I get you, bro. Look, here's the thing. We're going to the sequels, okay? And I know that's going to trigger some folks. Here's the deal. I don't like the movies, man. I really don't. But the story of Star Wars lives on. The story of Star Wars is the sequels in at least some small part. I know. For me, the story itself is ultimately not even that terrible. It's the execution of the films and the trilogy overall. The cohesiveness, a lot of whack decisions. Look, they're bad. What do you want me to say, Dan? They're fucking bad. Okay? But just because they're bad doesn't mean they don't exist. Have you ever watched a really fun anime that had an off season or an arc that you weren't crazy about? Did it ruin the anime for you? Come on, bro. All right, anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to get fired up there. Yova, member for 17 months, says, Josh, peace and love, Nerd Vengers. Yeah. Yo, I'm excited for some Tarkov in the Champions Club later. Is Doc, I think he said he'd be streaming Tarkov, right? So you should be on Tarkov today. I'll see you in the arena later. Jaboy G says, hey, Josh, I've only ever been a Marvel/DC fan, never watched Star Wars fully. Where should I start? What's the most important for me to jump into? Stay Zoot. So you're not a Star Wars fan. I don't know, man. I mean, I think the OT stuff is great. Some people that have never watched Star Wars before will watch the OT and be like, this is boring. Like, why do people like this? I know Star Wars fans, some of you are like, what? Blasphemy. But it's true. Prequels are dope. I love Revenge of the Sith. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you. I mean, you could technically start with Mandalorian. You could technically start with the OT and just go through. You could start with the prequels, then watch the OT. Yeah, any of those. There's the Machete Order. There's a lot of different things, man. Knowledge Cosmic with a $5 holla, no message. Just throw it into the chat. I'll try to get to it if I find it. Shane Hopkins says, Luke offers Yoda's saber to Grogu the same way Kenobi offers Luke's Anakin saber. Biggest hint that Yoda is Grogu's father. Maybe. I don't think so, actually, but I understand that. It makes sense. I actually have a script I'm working on for, and it'll be the video I do today, about the choice. About Grogu's choice. And I think, yo, Alex, what's up, brother? I think some people are actually a little upset that Luke would make Grogu make this decision, okay? And something in my household we've been talking a little bit about, you know? And I think that there's a really important thing going on with the decision that Luke is making. It is about Luke as a character. It is about the Jedi as a concept. It is about Grogu. It is about choice. It is about Anakin. It is about Leia. That choice is about a lot. And I want to get into it because I'm just excited about it. I think it's like a really cool thing that they did with that choice for Grogu. And we'll talk about it in that video. But hey, maybe Yoda is Grogu's father. Wouldn't that be wild? D says, why was Ahsoka and Luke being on screen together a huge deal to this community? I love OG Star Wars, but dropped off and haven't kept up with Ahsoka, etc. Yeah, so D, here's the thing. Ahsoka has a very unique place in the hearts of most Star Wars fans because she had a lot of one-on-one time with Anakin Skywalker. And during the Clone Wars show, much of what happened in that show is based around the idea that we're watching Anakin again struggle with what's put before him and his sort of draw to the dark side, the good that he has in him, and like Luke is ultimately able to tap into that goodness that's within Anakin to save the galaxy. However, Ahsoka holds a very unique spot in this canon because of the relationship we had with Anakin. And so seeing her with Anakin's son was so impactful to fans that when she says, like, you know, you're a lot like your father or whatever, it's just, it really hits. It really, really hits for many of us. So that's the explanation. Appreciate your support and the question. Matt Baker says, I want more Luke too, but I can totally see them giving him the Darth Vader treatment. Okay, so Matt, interesting point, interesting question. I feel strongly that you're going to get a ton more Luke, actually, and that Luke is here to stay, and will be doing a lot of fun stuff. And look, I mean, they said it with the sequels. They said, you know, maybe we would have done more of the trilogy together, meaning like Han, Leia, and Luke, but they're just older, right? And again, think about that shit. In the context of everything we just talked about this morning, about deep fake, about cinema, about all these different things, the magic of making movies, right? Lucasfilm decided we can't create the magic of having Luke, Han, and Leia all together fighting bad guys because these actors are too old. We can't do it. We can't create that magic. And we got the sequels. Okay, now again, people like the sequels or whatever. It's fair. But the point is, Matt, you're saying, I want more Luke, but maybe they just give him the Darth Vader treatment, not have him in everything, maybe have a little bit of him here and there. But don't we want that magic? Isn't that why, in some ways, we reject the sequels? Because what we wanted was more like Heir of the Empire. And if given the chance to have Heir of the Empire, if given the chance to have these characters all together fighting, you know, wouldn't we want that? You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, it's a fair point, Matt. But I'm just here to, I'm ready to believe, you know? Tyler says, Josh, you should check out the Cinematics Capture Cad Bane rework. It looks a lot better, in my opinion, more accurate to the animated appearance. I watched it, actually. I think you tweeted it at me, too, Tyler, if I'm not mistaken. I watched it, and it's good. Like, don't get me wrong. But I actually am quite satisfied with what we got with Cad Bane. Initially, it was a little jarring for me because, and again, I was actually just having this conversation with Elisa this morning about this. Oh, what the butt? Chat, get that music going on, you friggin' butthole. Here's the thing. They have to make changes from the cinematic version or the animated version to the cinematic version. Ahsoka herself does not look like the Clone Wars Ahsoka. Her Tragata is shorter. She's a little taller. This is a different thing. And the medium, like, again, some of this stuff's just going to start to sort of fade away. But the medium of live action, there's just a different thing going on. We don't need it to look like the character from Clone Wars. We need it to look like Ahsoka, which is different. I don't know if that distinction is super obvious, but that's the subtlety, right? Let me just explain something else that's really fascinating about animation and the human mind. When I was in film school, I don't know if you guys did it. Chad, have I ever mentioned that I was in film school? Have I ever talked to them about that before? That I went to. Okay, cool. When I was in film school, I took an animation class. One of the first things you learn in animation is that you don't do a one-for-one replication or what? You don't actually do what is being done in nature and then put it into animation. Meaning, if you photograph a human walking, okay, and then you animate every single frame of that human walking, and then you put it together, it will not look the same way to the human eye. In fact, it'll look really weird. It'll look like stop motion animation. It'll look jarring to the human eye. And that's because the human eye is not seeing every single movement. The human eye is seeing the movement, making it into something closer to animation that the brain sees. I don't know if that makes sense. Does that make sense? And we talked about this before too, but you have neurons in your brain that are specific to human faces. Did you know that when you have a dream, there's no made-up faces? Every single face that appears in your dreams is a human face that you have seen at one time and that you recreate in your dream. Did you know that when you see a cartoon face, the exact same part of the brain is activated as when you are looking at a human face? Human faces don't actually look like what we see. If you ever want to do a really interesting experiment, take a picture of someone's face, someone even really famous that you've seen their face a ton. The Rock actually has the most recognizable face on the planet, they say, right? Take The Rock's face and hide everything but his one eye, and then look at his one eye. Hide everything but his other ear and look at his ear. And start to look at the face piece by piece instead of like as the whole. And what you'll realize is, oh, bro, there's a ton here that my brain is just deleting to make the face of the Rock pop. This is something that Picasso tapped into. This idea. He saw it for what it was and decided to, abstract it. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. You know what I mean? It's pretty interesting. I don't know why I went on that tangent, but here we go. Armani says Cad Bane died in his duel with Boba Fett, which resulted in Boba getting his iconic dent in his helmet and taking down the most feared bounty hunter. That is 100% in a scene that was ultimately cut from the Clone Wars. That scene is really, really cool. I watched Dave Filoni talk about that scene live at Star Wars Celebration. But I don't know if that scene is canon. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's canon or not, but I do think we're going to get Cad Bane versus Boba in the finale, and whoo, baby! Kaluhai says, here's the thing, Mark Hamill, a human Mark Hamill will never look like that, sound like that, or move like that ever again. But that's what they gave us this week. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And it's a really interesting, fascinating subject, right? It's crazy. Prince Zodiac says, love the insight, Josh. Did you ever go to film school? You know, actually, I did. I did go to film school. We learned a lot up there. Star Wars Alan says, Luke's voice, too. Oh, my God. Yeah, for me, it feels perfect, man. Sounds just like him. It feels like Luke speaking. It seems like something Luke would say. It's fascinating stuff. Armani Martinez says, the very generous $10 holla says, Josh, none of this matters because the sequel trilogy is canon and we all know how it ends. So why are we getting what we asked and wanted for years, 3 movies too late? Kylo chops Grogu. I don't think Grogu's going to be there. I think we now know why, because he's going to choose the armor and just go back to Mando. And again, I'll talk more about that in my video. Look, man, if that's really how you feel, then I can't, like, there's nothing I could say that's going to make you feel differently. I would say I don't feel that way, and I'm someone that doesn't like those movies, and yet I'm cool with it being a part of the canon, and I'm cool with those characters continuing. I want more with those characters, you know? And I think they could do it much better, obviously, than what they had done before. But if you honestly feel that way and you can't enjoy things like Luke and Ahsoka talking on frame together, if you honestly can't enjoy that because of the sequel trilogies, damn dog, that's on you. I'm just gonna fucking say it. That's on you. But to each their own. Pretty Nikki says, I think we are a little ways away from a full movie using deepfake. If you notice, the mouth movement was a bit off. It's true. There are a couple of moments that were off. And it's not perfect, but I think the thing is, it's going to get even better. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be even better. Armani Martinez says, Peacemaker greater than NFTs? I mean, maybe some NFTs. There's a lot of bullshit in NFTs, bro. A lot of bullshit. So I'm sure there's some bullshit in the NFT space that's a little bit worse than the bullshit of Peacemaker. That's right, I said it. That show sucks. Vanessa says, member for 2 months, says, I truly understand what you're talking about. I used to think I'd be making movies one day, and this is all magic I love. It's utterly incredible. It is pretty incredible, and I'm glad that you're here experiencing it with us, for sure. Stormy, member for 20 months. Good God, man. Says, episode 6 of Book of Boba Fett felt like a dream. Luke looks so good. My favorite bounty hunter, Cad Bane, made his debut. Wow. Also, episode 6 of Peacemaker was fire. Love the show. I mean, we don't have to talk about that, but no, it's cool. I'm glad you like it, man. I'm glad you like it, Peacemaker. And yes, this was an incredible episode of Book of Boba Fett, and really just of Star Wars. You know, like live action Star Wars is headed in some really interesting directions. I'm really excited for it. I think most of us are. Armani says, I believe I have outgrown Star Wars and I can't take it anymore. It breaks my heart. Brother, again, that's on you. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. And I'm not even saying that it's like wrong or you're wrong, but it is ultimately on you, right? It's something internal. You can't get past it, and that's fine. But you also don't have to poop in other people's cereal. You know what I mean? That's the other thing. It's like, you've been heard. We understand it. You don't have to sit at this lunch table anymore, though. We're over here having a good time. You know what I mean? You can sit at a different table. That's the nicest way I could say it. Ethan says, Josh, you are describing what makes Star Wars so amazing and beautiful. It is magic. John and Dave have captured it perfectly. This episode was perfect. I agree, brother, and I'm very grateful for the 11 months of support, so thank you so much. Travis says, I'm sure George is so proud of Filoni and Favreau right now. I agree. Pushing the limits of movie making, and it all feels so Star Wars. Can't wait for episode 7. Take my money. Dude, episode 7 is going to be nuts, bro. Let me just ask you guys this now, because last time everybody's like, don't get too excited, Josh. You're going to get bonered again. Don't get too excited. Is it okay if we get super excited for episode 7? Is it going to be all right if I anticipate some dope shit from episode 7? You let me know in the chat. Patrick says, with what they are doing with the Luke deepfakes, do you think if the Solo movie was in development now, they'd do a Harrison Ford deepfake for the film or still hire a younger actor? So, Patrick, first of all, I'm so glad that you asked this question because it's going to take my mind to an interesting thing. The answer is maybe. And also, I think this is a little bit of magic as far as why we will likely get Han in episode 7. I still think the Han thing could happen. And yeah, man, I think it's going to be like a young Han and a young Luke together, and that's going to be absolutely wild. I also think that part of the reason that Harrison Ford might have agreed to do this is because I think they're going to use this technology in Indiana Jones 5. Indiana Jones 5, which I am not interested in at all, is rumored to have time travel. And you might even see a scene with an older Harrison Ford, or Indy, talking to a younger Harrison Ford, Indy. And I think they may have been testing that out for this idea. But I think that's a great question, man. Like, you know, no offense to Alden, because I think he did a pretty good job in that movie. But yeah, it would have been much more enjoyable if it was Harrison. You know what I mean? Studios should add deepfake options in contracts. I think that will happen in the next couple of years, 100%. Brian O'Connor says, wait till you have kids. Spent 35 minutes trying to explain to my 7 and 4-year-old why Boba hasn't been in the last 2 episodes. I'm here for all of it, though. This is the way. Yeah, I'm excited for all that kind of stuff, though. You know what I mean? I'm excited to have those kind of conversations. So, Patrick says, let's get a Sir Alec Guinness Force Ghost deepfake in one of the series in a scene with Luke as Luke comes to terms with Grogu attempting to leaving the temple to go back to Din. Possibilities are endless. That's the point. The possibilities are endless. The story should dictate what they do. But now a lot of things that maybe potentially would have prevented certain things from happening, those things are going away. The limits are now going away. And I'm pumped about it. John says, it was emotional and exciting to see Luke training Grogu. It evoked a deep love I have for Star Wars that's been locked up for years. This was in great taste. I absolutely agree. That is the magic, right? 89 J Stub says everyone was cool with Boba and Luke and Mando. Haters. Everyone was cool with Boba and Luke and Mando. Haters. Yeah. Yeah, we're all cool with it, bro. I don't really think there's that many people that are upset by it. Benjamin Reese says, what do you think about Heath Ledger for Batman? What do I think about Heath Ledger for Batman? I think what you're referring to here, Ben, is the idea that they sort of profited off of his death a little bit. Is that what you're saying? Because that was like similar to what was going on back then. Would I have preferred more Heath Ledger Joker in the future? I do think it would have been pretty cool. So I got to be honest, I'm not sure exactly the context of your question. I tried to answer it, though. Showroom Sabers says Grogu should get saber and armor. Luke helped friends instead of staying with Yoda. When G picks the armor, Luke should give him Yoda's saber since it's perfect for him. Use his story to warn Grogu about emotion. I think that is technically possible. I think it is actually possible that he will receive both. But the point is, he's not going to pick both, and you can't just pick both. You know, and I love my brother's Star Wars theory, but I just watched his breakdown, and he said that Grogu could pick both and levitate both. And I'm just going to say this right now. If Grogu levitates both and picks both, then Luke Skywalker better bitch slap his ass, because that's not how that shit works. That's not the lesson. That's not what's going on. You have to make a decision, my boy. That's what's going on. Prince Zodiac says, we are definitely living in the future. Crazy. I agree. Trev says, do you think Christopher Reeve's family would accept this? I don't know. You know, that's a great question. I don't know. I mean, money's nice. People like money. I'm sure that the conversation would also be like, what would Chris want? You know? And I think at some point that discussion will go away because the actors will have the option and they'll talk about it themselves, you know? Masmas says, with a very generous $10 hala. So I thought I was with this, but you're entrusting an actor's art to companies, and some will pray fall to bad actors, less opportunities for new actors. I want to like it, but... So I don't know that I agree. I certainly see that as it could potentially happen, but here's the thing. Actors get... Like, Mas, let me just tell you... Can I just feed it to you straight? Can I just give it to you straight? And I hope there's not too much edge on what I'm about to say. But are you suggesting that actors are going to be taken advantage of in the entertainment industry and that is somehow a novel idea? Come on, man. They're making commercial art. I would say 70 to 80% of actors working in the industry, even that have made it, have been compromised and taken advantage of by companies. So the idea that this is so much more egregious than what already happens in the entertainment industry is ridiculous. As far as it may be taking away opportunities for new actors, perhaps. I could potentially see that. But what about the actors that act underneath the deepfake? You know what I mean? Like the dude that's currently getting the check for playing young Luke Skywalker on top of the deepfake. You think he's really upset about what's going on? I don't know. I can't get down with what you're saying there. But I respect your right to say it. Okay, I totally lost my place. Holy shit, damn it. Okay. Adam D, member for 4 months, says, big diff for me is they can't consent to the performance after their death. That's fair. They can't say no to things they wouldn't want to be associated with. That's fair. And I think that's absolutely fair. I would argue, of course, that a lot of rights are signed over no matter what contract is signed, and that sometimes there's already stuff that's going on that the actor maybe doesn't love. There's all kinds of things that happen with that. But yeah, obviously, if the person wouldn't want it, or, it's doing something like if we took, let's say we took an actor that hated meat and was a vegetarian, and they really thought being a vegetarian was the moral thing to do, and that everybody should be a vegetarian. Well, if somebody somehow made a deepfake video with that actor being like, you know what, I was wrong, meat's awesome, let's get some chicken wings, then obviously like that's a fucked up, egregious, way to use that technology. But I don't think it's as clear cut as, yeah, they didn't give consent and therefore we can't do it. Dirty says, got accepted to be a Twitch affiliate today. My man, you've been a huge inspiration to me. Take my rich Twitch money. My man, thanks, man. And I appreciate it. And, hey, I told you before, I think you got the goods. You got the goods when it comes to the gaming. So good luck to you, man. Beyonder says, see this, that shit. If they don't recast T'Challa, don't recast anyone else. Sorry, not sorry. I understand where you're coming from with that. I don't necessarily, agree, or I'm not necessarily feeling it the same way you are, but I think it's a fair comparison. MCU Drew says, new Denner shirt. I survived the boner. Whew. Be a hot seller, huh? Darth Dever says, we could legit get a Luke Grogu show. Oh my effing God. I know. I think you'll get a Luke show. I don't know about Grogu. Grogu's going to go do his thing, I think. Nick D with a $15 holla, very generous, says, Christopher Reeve interacting with Michael Keaton. I'm not a DC guy, but good damn. That would be something. It really would, dude. It really would. And that's the thing. That's the magic, right? What is it about? It's about the character. Renee says, for those that didn't know, what you are seeing is Chet, and he just deepfakes Josh's face on himself. Hey, you know what's funny about that, Renee? I was thinking about this. I almost didn't say it. I didn't want to say it in the chat because I don't know how you guys will all react to it. But if I could have one stream or a couple of streams off a week and have my performance for a stream. It's live, so you probably wouldn't be able to do it. It's not the same thing. But if I could make a deep fake of myself to do a video or some shit sometime or do a stream, and I could have a day off, I'm all about it, son. You know what I mean? I'm all about it. Jaboy G says, hey, Josh, to your point about using deepfakes for aged-up actors, wouldn't that amplify E-Man's concerns that only one person can be a certain character? I think it would. And, that's something that he feels really strongly about, and I understand what he is saying. I just don't necessarily feel the same way, And on top of that, it's not that there's nothing that necessarily locks that into the way that it has to be. I just think that it's an option. And I think that it's something that we need to sort of rethink. But yeah, look, people are going to feel differently about this. Again, I'm not telling you what to think. I'm not saying you should feel the way I feel about it either. I just think it's a conversation worth having because we're looking at it happen in real time, bro. This is crazy. What are the limits? What should we do? Those are the questions. Richard says, a lot of amazing things set up for episode 7, but I'm calling it. We hear Grogu's first words, and it will be Mando, and I'm not emotionally prepared. That would be devastating. That would really hit me in the feels for sure. Unless it was a really off voice where he's like, hey, Mando. Yeah, this is how I talk. I've been talking like this in my head the whole time. Give me that silver ball. I'm going to force choke your dick off or something. You know what I mean? Like that. Then it's a little. I don't think I'd have us an. I don't think I'd have as an emotional reaction if that's what was going on. John Parker says, that was everything I wanted as a fan. I agree. Chris Jackson, $5 holla, no message. Love and appreciate the support. Jordan Baldridge says, who's Boba Fett? Is that the Mandalorian ship? What? Yeah, no, that's the Mandalorian ship now. What do you mean? I don't understand. Andre, shills for Josh Oro says, I don't know why people can't get happy for awesome content. Who set up all the mental restrictions? Episode 6 was bananas. Take my fucking money. Yeah, dude, I agree. I agree. Different folks can feel how they feel about it, but I'm just like, bro, are you like trying to not have fun? Like, if you didn't enjoy that, like, are you trying to not have fun? Because that's okay too, but get the fuck away from me. Never Lose Your Nerd says, what an effing amazing episode yesterday. I never have cared about Boba and only want to see Mando with Grogu. Give me more Luke, Ahsoka, and Cad. Yeah, man, I think a lot of folks feel that way. It's a little unfortunate for the Boba fans, and I do agree that, like, bro, he didn't do much of anything. Hey, maybe he's going to go crazy in episode 7. You know, they blew up his favorite drinking spot with the lady he was trying to slide into the DMs with, so it's very possible he's furious now, and maybe he's going to kill everybody. That would be cool. But, yeah. Appreciate you. Sup, my man? Are there any famous Spider-Man storylines that haven't been covered in the movies yet? What are they? So, there's the Clone Saga. There's Kraven's Last Hunt. Let's see here. I mean, they've kind of covered some of Miles' stuff. A little bit of One More Day. Yeah, I'd say those. Superior Spider-Man's also a really great run. I like Kane and I like the Scarlet Spider quite a bit. Spider-Verse and all that sort of stuff. So there's plenty of Spider stuff they can still pull from. Appreciate the love. James Yu says, I 100% think the last 3 episodes of Book of Boba Fett were the first 3 episodes of Mando Season 3 until the Pedro helmet issue. I don't know if I feel the exact same way, but I definitely think that something happened. And that, yeah, essentially we're getting stuff that would have been in Mando Season 3. So I don't even know if we disagree, really. Levi says, member for 13 months, says, here to trigger Star Wars fans in reference to Luke making Grogu decide whatever happened to only Siths deal in absolutes. Nerdventure for life. Hey, Levi, just wait for the video. I'll explain it all. Mike Porter says, little known fact, I'm a deepfake. Interestingly, calling it a deepfake, usually fake, is pretty shallow. Okay. TJH says, as beautiful as it was to see Ahsoka and Luke together, a small part of me was hoping for first time we saw them together was when they first meet. Yeah, that's fair. But I still think it's magical, bro. You know what I mean? I still think it's magical. Mate, with a very generous $1 million donation, says, just to follow, I'm down with them de-aging living people like this, but actors allowing studios to use their likeness and doing it and doing no work for millions? Nah, bringing back dead people feels wrong. I understand. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel the way that you feel. I'm, again, just suggesting that I think a lot of this stuff is going to be reinvestigated. We're going to take a different approach. We're going to look at this differently moving forward. And I don't know if everybody's going to ultimately end up feeling the way that you feel about it. So, yeah. MK Matt says, what a time to be alive. Crazy how cool this stuff has been. True test for me is going to be what it looks/feels like with Luke, Han, and Leia together. Yeah. Come on, man. Tell me you don't want that shit. You know what I mean? Come on now. MCU Drew says, oh, Joshua, what you said about pooping in other cereal, bud. Gotta check out your Batman talks, LOL, even though I agree with them. Okay, let's look at the chat. I just want to know something. Okay, so here's the deal. I want to know. You tell me in the chat. I'm looking at the chat right now. Am I being hypocritical when I tell people to not poop in the cereal when it comes to Star Wars? And yet, every time the hockey pad wearing, glowy skin vampire, not buff at all, weirdo, should have been Batfleck, Batman movie gets brought up, that I poop in the cereal. If you think I'm being a hypocrite, put a 1 into the chat. If you think maybe I'm contradicting myself a little, put a 1 into the chat. I don't know. I'm just trying to. I just want to be kept honest. That's all it is. I'm not above being wrong. I've been wrong before. Chet, everybody that put a 1. The Nerdcoin gone. Time them out. If you see him in the tower, give him a shove. Everybody that put a 1 in the chat. Yeah, I want screenshots. I want names. Okay, that was fun. Jansen Baker says with a $10 holla. I don't know what to say really, but I guess T'Challa deepfake feels different than Luke. Mark can make clear his consent, but for all we know, Chadwick was only considering recasting when discussing. I think that's fair. I can't argue with that. And again, I'm not trying to come down one way or the other. I'm merely trying to illustrate that. Yeah, man. I think there's the possibility that we will look at these things differently moving forward. Okay. Dang. Jamie Smith, $5 holla, no message. I appreciate the support. T-Love, a.k.a. the Silver Lurker, with a very generous $50 holla, says, in my opinion, little nuggets that hint at or lead to the sequels elevates those terrible movies, and I'm here for it. Also, Luke Soka confirmed. You think they'll be glad when Grogu chooses the armor and goes back to Mando? They'll get more alone time. Now, take my money. Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, did you see the way Luke was looking at her? Did you see the way? Luke Soka confirmed, baby. And I will have those shirts designed and ready to go for the next Nerd Theory. And you bet your ass I'm gonna bring it up on Nerd Theory, and I'm gonna be like, hey everybody, grab your Luke Soka shirt. It's a great piece of merchandise to wear if you're going to a Star Wars Theory meet up, or if you're gonna see Theory at a Comic-Con or something. Oh man, what a great shirt to have on. It'll get a smile out of him for sure. Maybe he'll show you just how strong his deltoids are by snapping you in half. It's an incredible purchase. Probably one of the best pieces of merch we'll ever design. I can't wait. Can't wait. And T-Love, thank you for the support, obviously. Normies to Nerd says, remember those concerns I had about Kenobi? They're gone now. I feel deepfaking a dead man way more weird than recasting. Yes, and so Damson Idris for Black Panther or bust. Is that the guy from Raised by Wolves, bro? I know we've talked about this before, but I've been, recently rewatched Raised by Wolves. Dude, that guy would be such a great T'Challa. But here's my thing. Why not both? Why not have our T'Challa deepfaked, have some kind of resolution, bring in another T'Challa from the multiverse or something like that? You know what I mean? Like, you can make it diegetic. That's what I think. But again, I totally respect and understand people feeling differently about it. It is a different situation, Nah, not him, but that guy would be dope too. Bro, I've been rewatching that, and he's so good as father, but he's obviously being robotic and all these different things. And I was like, dude, this dude could be T'Challa, man. That would be a good T'Challa, bro. Dawn says, member for 4 months, Grogu's only doing the same thing Luke did in Empire. You think he'd have thought a different direction on absolutes, and why was he wearing such a small hat? What? A small hat? What are you talking about? Look, again, we'll talk about it. I'm going to do a full video breaking down this idea, but the thing is, Luke is not just... Here's what I think. I'll just tell one thing that I'm going to put in the video that I think is worth considering. Luke was probably attempting to train Leia on Endor. Remember? And yet, Leia decided she didn't want to be a Jedi. And so this is Luke after that, wanting his first student. Oh, okay. Right on, Dawn. Right on. And so I think that what you're seeing is Luke being conflicted about what it is to be a Jedi and if people should even want to be a Jedi. Should the Jedi exist? I think there's a lot of things operating in his mental. I think he's looking at Grogu and he's looking at Mando and he's feeling it. And to be honest with you, I think there's a part of Luke that wants to give Grogu an out. And he wants to say, you know, hey, bud, do you want to be a Jedi? Because if you don't, that's okay. But you've got to make that decision. And I think that's kind of what's operating here. A lot of us are looking, a lot of people have been looking at this in a negative light, and they're like, this is wrong. This is an ultimatum. This is the... No, what this is like, do you really want this? That's what it is. Do you really want this? And the metaphor of the armor and the saber, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. You know? So, yeah. Living with Dameron says, after I pass on, I want a robot of me continue super chatting and being a Nerdvenger Prime. Hope they keep de-aging my avatar also. Bro, I'm with you, right? Come on, man. And then, like, let's not even get into the whole metaverse of this. You know, do you want to be able to hang with Josh in the metaverse forever? Probably not, but maybe somebody else out there that you like a little bit more, you would say yes to. So we got to think about these things, you know? And I got to adjust my stupid thing again. And look, this is what I was talking about with Paul. Look at how fat the face is getting. Welcome to the 10 of Nerds. That's what we're working with. Oh! Okay, yeah, good point. Camo says, what do you make of Rahul posting on his Insta story about working with Mark Hamill in a future project? Here's what I think, Camo. My understanding is that Rahul did not get the part of Ezra Bridger, but that they're still open to having him in Star Wars in some way, shape, or form. It's even possible he's still going to be a Jedi of some kind. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that I've heard is coming. So maybe he's talking about that. Maybe it's a different project. Maybe he's Ezra, because I've heard conflicting things like, oh, Mina definitely signed, and then some people are like, Mina hasn't signed yet. There's some conflict there. I don't know, bro. I think Mina is the guy, and I think Rahul, if he's being honest, maybe he's working with Mark in a different capacity. D big, your D huge. Is Grogu next? Tar Vizsla. Thank you. And yes. JP223 says, LOL, Star Wars Theory crazy for saying Grogu will pick both. Literally wasn't an option. I would be upset if Grogu doesn't choose Yoda's saber. Yeah, I loved that video. I felt like Theory's video was great. And he's really good when he's really invested and interested in Star Wars. And so I thought that video was great. But when he said that in the video, I was like, nah, fam. Like, no. Yeah, he's not going to pick Yoda's saber. But it's possible he still receives it. Maybe after they fight on Tatooine together, you know, Luke is just like, you know, I think he should have this regardless. And your path is your path. Blah, blah, blah. May the Force be with you. I'm outie. Big Kale says, happy to be a member for so long. Member for 8 months. Appreciate that. I'm curious. You keep saying you think Pacemaker is shit. But have you actually finished the first episode in full? I think it's worth giving a shot. Yeah, I did, and I watched the second episode because somebody else, I forget who, but somebody was like super chatting a bunch, and they were like, you better watch it. And so I did. It's just not for me. You know, look, we're having fun. We're performing here. I'm not really trying to poop in your cereal. The show's just not for me, man. It's sort of slapstick, shotgun-style humor. Not really for me. But I'm glad you like it. Apar says, shout out to the guy playing Cobb Vanth. The fear in his eyes when Cad Bane showed his face for the first time. Awesome acting. He can't die. Yeah, Timothy Olyphant, bro, is a true treasure. Like, his performance was incredible. It didn't have to be that good, too. Like, I kept saying this, and I feel it pretty strongly about it. That shit didn't have to be that good, but it was. And he's incredible. And yeah, he's probably not dead. It looks like he got winged or shot in the shoulder or something like that. So he's probably not dead. Peacemaker greater than Luke Soka. Take my money. You see, Armani, you can still have fun with Star Wars. You see? And also, you wrong. Elon Bell says, is Robert Rodriguez directing the finale? If this is true, do you have faith in him to live up to the last 2 episodes? Great show. I do. I think Rodriguez is good. I think that the writing, believe it or not, was actually the weakness in the first half of the season, not the directing. C-Dub, member for 20 months, holy shit, says, Josh, now that we have Mando back in Book of Boba, do you think the rumored issue with Pedro is resolved? I think it's resolved. I do. I think it's resolved. Julian says, thoughts on Dakota Johnson as Madam Web just broke on comicbook.com's IG Twitter. I don't know who she is, but let me see. Dakota Johnson. Is this somebody I should know? Oh, she's from the 50 Shades movies? Really? The 50 Shades girl is Madam Web? Okay. I don't know. I haven't seen those movies, so I don't know what quality acting is in them. Anyway, Carl says, Grogu is older than Ahsoka and Luke, training with tons of Jedi, yet he is a Padawan? Grosoka. Love triangle. Luke Soka. Yo, let's get it. Let's get it. Carl's getting freaking naughty. Okay. What the hell? Ah, you stupid. Okay, why can't I go any lower? Is that the last soupy? Can I not go any lower because it's the last one? Yes. Lack of Spleener says, I think Luke is enamored with Ahsoka's ability to walk the line between light and dark. He likes her, but isn't sure if he should pursue it. Maybe. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that as a thing. Let's see here. Garth Maul says, Josh, I overlaid the temple in Ep 6 of Boba with the temple in TLJ, and I'm like 90% sure it's the same temple, just the bare structure. I'll send an image on Discord. Thanks, man. Do it up. Do it up, baby. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. And yeah, I think it's the same. But you never know for sure, but I think it's the same. Mr. Griffin says, sup, Josh. It's really weird having Luke asking Grogu to make a choice like that after recently consuming 40-plus EU novels with him having a family. Take my money. That's fair, bro. That is absolutely fair. I would just say that this is a different Luke, obviously. But also, we may be watching him getting to that conclusion. Perhaps this is the start of him seeing that possibility, and he's going to realize that Ahsoka is the one for him and that they should have a little family. You know what I mean? So maybe we're on our way. Anybody? Anybody feeling it? No? We're not feeling it anymore? Okay. Okay. All right, let me hang in the chat for a little bit. Is Moss mad at me for what I said about her comment? Yo, Moss, you in here? Are you mad? He likes her butt. My man. Stop, Josh! Stop it right now! Luke Soka plus Mara Jade threesome? Whew. That's hot. Them Josh cheeks, though? I mean, I do have some cheeks, that's for sure. Wait, which cheeks are you talking about? Which cheeks are you talking about? Patrick says, Grogu and Luke's scenes can't be done yet. After Luke shows the audience Grogu's memories, we have to find out who saves him from the clone troopers and stuff. in that egg thing. I think that's true. There's more to come with that for sure. But I don't know that Luke will be directly involved in training him anymore. I do think they will all meet up again, though. Let's see here. Masma says, nah, you have a valid point, but if people are dead, they cannot defend themselves. This is true. This is true. And much love to you, Masmas. I didn't mean to be a douche. Or at least not more of a douche than I normally am, you know? Let's keep the douche level pretty consistent around here, you know what I'm saying? Vet Rias says, the irony of Luke not wanting Grogu to have a new shirt when he's been wearing the same outfit for 5 years now. Fair point, sir. Fair point. Absolutely a fair point. His fashion sense is lacking. Please tell Josh if he pisses me off, I need to reevaluate my life. Hey, it's true. I didn't want to go there, though, you know? I didn't want to go there. But yeah, seems like you're... Jabba Josh, do them cheeks jiggle? You tell me, bro. You tell me. Dan Flashes says, member for 10 months says, do you think there is significance in Grogu not being capably defended by Jedi and the protection Mando has offered? Ooh, I like that. That's a really interesting point. I haven't really thought about that, but that's a fair point, actually. I like that. Trying to eat, that was awful. My bad. I'll do better. I'll do better next time. Josh in the back tank? Amen. Amen. Look, I told y'all, if we get up to over 1,000 members, I'm going to do a calendar. And one of the months, is you best believe I'm going to wear those weird little diapers that you wear when you go into Bacta. So I don't know what month it'll be, but I'll be there in my dad bod with my freaking diapers. But we got to get up to 1,000 members. We got like 750 or something like that. So canceling my membership. No! No! Back to Pampers, indeed. Shave and wear the diaper? I don't know why that's cracking me up so much, dude. Shave and wear the diaper. What the fuck? Let's see here. E-Wits says, in Empire Strikes Back, Luke had a choice to make. Stay with Yoda and finish his training or help save his loved ones. Grogu has a similar choice to make. There isn't a wrong choice. This is the way, with a smoochy face. I get you. I don't think there is a wrong choice, but there is a choice. Luke simply wants Grogu to be able to have a choice that maybe a lot of other Force users did not have. I also think there's something to be said for how they just recruited children without maybe knowing that what the children would actually desire. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot operating. As I said, I will cover it in a big video, which will come out later today, okay? Bald head in a diaper? Oh, shit. Why the spoiler thumbnail, bro? Don't be like Star Wars comics. I already saw the episode, but still, bro, you are literally the only person that has complained. And you've already seen the episode. Dude, shut up, bro. Shut your mouth. I'm sorry, man. Like, I just don't... You want to know the truth? You want to know the truth? I don't fucking care, dude. I don't. I'm trying to be chill about it. But if you opened Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube before you open Disney Plus to go watch the episode, that's on you, my guy. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? Kansas City Beef Studios says, when you see Theory next time, tell him to stop being mean to me every time I send him a super chat. All I said to Theory was, wear a loincloth. Am I my brother's keeper now? You know? Look, you think I've never been mean about a super chat? We're human up here, okay? We're human up here. Just relax. And do I wish Theory would be a little nicer sometimes? Absolutely. But again, am I my brother's keeper? I don't think so. You know, let's just all try to relax. Let's all try to relax, okay? Sheesh. Summer wear back to Pampers, almost as good as Borat slingshot suit. Oh my God, dude, you guys are cracking me up. Josh, you are mean. I know. That's my point, Darth Knox. I know. I know. So are we all going to tell Theory to wear a loincloth on Monday? I mean, that's up to you guys. Look, I would prefer the way we trigger Theory on Monday is going to be with the newest, hottest Luke Soka merch. Exactly. You never read my chats. Always ignore from everyone. Fuck this. I'm out. Andre, I read your chat, though. You know, I mean, I think I did. Yeah, Josh is a motherfucking bully. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Should be a good time. Harry Potter is Star Wars with shitty lightsabers. That's an interesting take. The dude spoils movies on the daily. Do you think he cares about the thumbnail? Dude literally spoils movies that aren't even out yet. It's true, actually. It's true. It's true. Sorry. You know, sorry, not sorry. This is the thing. The next time somebody's like, bro, you spoiled that, this is going to be my reaction. I don't fucking care. Sheesh. Anyway. All right, guys, we better get out of here. I had an incredible time on today's stream. I had an incredible time on the watch party. Been having a lot of fun making content, streaming with you guys. We've been killing it a little bit, so I really appreciate it. Angel Stark, welcome to the Nerd Vengers, man. You're very active in chat, on Twitter. You know, very cool. It's good to see you finally take the plunge. I think you're going to absolutely love being a Nerd Venger. So, much love to you all. Josh, read my chat. Made my day. There you go. There you go. All right, everybody. Much love to you all. And I will see you in the next video. I have, like I said, I've got several Star Wars videos that I'm working on. It's very, very exciting, man. I'm quite pumped to be making these videos. So check those videos out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have Gambling back on. We'll do some call-ins tomorrow. Should be a good Friday show. So much love to you all. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh, man. Oh, man. Lots of good stuff. Lots of good vibes. Had a lot of fun chilling with y'all. Good times out there, man. Good times out there. I think the word is starting to spread a little bit about the Nerd Vengers, about the Tower, and about all the fun we have over here. So it's been a true joy, man. I'm really enjoying it, and thank you guys, for being a part of it. It's pretty cool, and yeah, I'll see you soon. This Madam Web shit's pretty wild, huh? Sony really be doing the most. Lots of fun stuff to get into. The nerdy stuff never stops. All right, guys. Much love to you. See you soon.